Do this.
Welcome back, Coker Athletic fans, to another episode of the Cobra Corner. I'm your host, Will Habel, joined alongside
David Mack.
We've got a jam-packed show for you guys today, as a lot of things happened in Coker Athletics this week, including a historic day on the soccer field, big performances on the court, and a lot of cover. So let's get into some quick headlines.
Yeah, like you said, some crazy stuff and a lot of wins and moving on in tournaments happening this week. So men's soccer claims the regular season co-champions in the South Atlantic Conference with a 4-1 win over Wingate on Wednesday. Men's soccer, they're also named the 4th-ranked team in Division II in the country, along with being the first team in the Southeast region. Kaya Sabor was named to the All-South Atlantic Conference first team for field hockey, along with Mila Rausch being named Offensive South Atlantic Conference Player of the Week for women's soccer. So just some quick headlines, and now we're getting into recapping this amazing week in Coker Athletics.
Yeah, so first we're going to start off with men's soccer, number 4 men's soccer, who got a pretty commanding win over Wingate.
For sure.
We talked about this one weeks. We've been talking about this one for weeks, how this game was probably going to be one of the biggest games for Coker, and they handled it in convincing fashion.
Yeah,
never
a doubt.
Yeah, Wingate did fall off a little bit as the season went on. They were preseason They were
preseason number 5 in the country.
Yeah.
And after that, they were as high as number 9 in the country. But then they just kind of, just dropped off a little bit. But nonetheless, it's still a quality side. And,
so the first goal of the game came 10 minutes into the contest as Leo Souza found Oscar Kaufman for an easy finish to take a 1-0 lead. And then not long after that, Cobras did the same thing again. Frederick Benedicts found Vitalis Takawira Jr., who had a finish in the bottom right corner to double the score total for the day. And then Yori Kaiser found Kaufman on another beautiful build-up play to give them a 3-goal cushion. And the Bulldogs fought back after that. They got one in the back of the net with a score of 3-1. But the Cobras responded 10 minutes later with one of their own. Nico Sotra slotted one home in the 69th minute to give him the first goal of his Cobra career and put the Cobras up 4-1. The team got hyped for that one. That one was awesome.
Yeah, they were so excited for that. He transferred in from Georgia Southern, I believe, and so he had yet to score a goal. I think he's been here for 3 years.
He's been here for a while.
Yeah. So
as far as I can remember, he's been here from.
So it was huge for him to get that, and he got another one, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah, but this was a big win as it makes the Coker Cobras, the Coker Cobras, 2024 SAC regular season co-champions, tying with Limestone. That game came down to the wire. We won our game, and then everybody was looking at the score of that game.
At first, Mars Hill. So obviously, Mars Hill needed to either beat Limestone for us to claim the outright title, or to tie them to claim the co-champs. And at first they were up 1-0, and then Limestone tied it up 1-1. It stayed 1-1 for a while, and then Limestone took a 2-1 lead, and then with like 2 minutes left in the game, Mars Hill tied it to make it 2-2, and then so we secured the co-champs title with a little bit of help. So.
Yeah, just goes to show you how tightly knit these two teams are, and if they meet in this SAC championship game, which is the only way they'll meet in the conference tournament, that will be a barn burner and a must watch for
sure
for any soccer fan.
We got to get there first.
So. But that's the only route that we'll play them in the conference tournament, as they're on the other side of the bracket, being the 1 seed, and us being the 2 seed in the tournament. But nonetheless. We got this conference tournament started this past Saturday. Saturday evening. 3-2 win over Catawba. This one got a little scary, to say the least. Cobras went up 2-0, and we're there
pretty early.
It was
early, but they scored a goal within the first 10 minutes, and then within the first 10 minutes of halftime, they also scored again to make it 2-0. And then there was kind of a lull, not really anything going on. and then all of a sudden the Cobras had got caught sleeping, and it was 2 goals within 2 minutes of each other in the
very quick.
79th and 81st minute.
Yeah, you could just feel like the energy get sucked out from that field. It was just like everybody was cheering, having a good time. It was almost like they kind of like
It took it for granted.
It took it for granted,
yeah.
trying to just get to the end of the game. But Cobras woke up after that one.
Yeah, so after
within
that,
like 30 seconds, they scored the game-winning goal, which ended up being the game-winning goal from Jorhan Chopin in the 81st.
Yeah, so
Chopin, sorry.
The mark on that timestamp was 21 seconds.
Yeah.
So 21 seconds after they tied it up, they came down, beautiful play, and then a ball, just a beautiful ball given in, I think, by Takawera Jr., and then just slotted it home. And so it was a great team goal. The build-up was great, and Chopin was there to slot it, and that ended up winning the game.
Yeah.
And it was a lot closer than it should have been. But
hey, win's a win.
And
at this point in the season,
semifinal.
But the game recap for that will be up tonight. We're recording this on Monday, so by the time this podcast is out, check the Coker channels to see how dramatic that game was. But nonetheless, we're gonna move on to women's soccer, who finished a remarkable season, to say the least. It didn't go the best of ways in their trip up to LMU, lost in heartbreaker PKs, but David will take us more in depth with that, as we were both watching that one. And
yeah, we were keeping tabs on it live. Obviously, it was kind of happened simultaneously with the men's game, so we were there. But Lily Borgman, off of a Maya Clark assist, evened it up at 1-1 early in the game. And that was like, those 2 goals also happened right after the other, and was within like the first 10, 15 minutes of that contest. And it was just deadlocked the rest of the way.
Yeah, we were just watching it on Flow Sports, and it was just literally back and forth. Like even the commentators,
Chances after chances after chances.
Very, very physical game. Those girls put everything they had down the line there.
There was one I remember right at the end of the game that Clark had a clear opportunity to score in OT to just finish it 2-1 with a golden goal victory.
That was almost I thought it was in regulation. They had one close one too.
Maybe
it might have been both, but yeah, it's a very close game. Like, I mean, even though they didn't come out on top, Michael has got to be proud of his girls.
Yes, the best season that he's been under. Was the first time in their time in the South Atlantic Conference that they've even made the tournament, and they made it as a 5 seed, and they almost upset the 4 seed. So, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch the podcast where we talked to Coach Michael Donald. And basically his thought process was that, they didn't host this year. So their goal next year is to host a game here in Hartsville in the South Atlantic Conference championships. And so they're going to hit the recruiting trail hard and get their girls to buy in even more than they've already bought in, and just continue to build a program that's been building here for 3 years. And they really, really took off this year, and they're going to look to capitalize on that momentum and just keep going forward. And
congrats to all those seniors on an amazing Coker run. I know Michael Donald had nothing but high praise for those seniors who kind of built that team up from what they were, as Michael's been here for this will be his 3rd year. So.
Yep.
But yeah, so with that, we're going to move inside to volleyball, who had themselves a week.
Their first 2-0 week on the season, and it was just a great one.
Yeah. So first things first, start off on the road at Catawba, 3-0 sweep, which has got to feel nice for the Cobras.
They came in here
they didn't
sweep us, but they beat us in 5.
Yeah.
It was a heartbreaker that we probably should have won.
That one had to feel good. They took the first set 25-21, second one same kind of way, 25-19, and then the third set just put this one home,
straight domination,
25-13, to score their second sweep of the season and notch another conference win on the road. Alyssa Carey shined for the Cobras, recording a double-double, 10 kills, 11 digs, and then the normal 2 culprits, double-digit assists in the form of Maddie Roberts with 16, Layla Hickson with 11. And then rounding out the double-digit digs were Meadow Morse and MJ Hurd. But
16 and 11, respectively.
And now for the crazy upset that we got to witness this week
so
in the Deloach Center. 3-1 upset from against Carson Newman. And that was a thriller. I'll let David go into more details. We were both on the call for that game. And
it was just electric.
Yeah,
it was such a good environment, especially in the first two sets when we went up 2-0. You could hear in the middle of that second set, it was just electric in here. It was so much fun to be able to call that game, and Will and I were just like going back and forth on the call. We were like, oh my goodness, what a point.
It was very nice to see smiles across that Coker bench as they,
and not just the bench, but the coaching staff, the
vibes
players,
are high.
The whole gymnasium, the scorers table, and then of course our vibes were immaculate on the call. So, but yeah, it was tightly contested first set, but the Cobras really turned it on at the end of the first. It was once at 19-18, and then they just turned on the Jets and cruised to a 25-20 victory. The second set was just domination. 25-16 final. It was awesome. The energy was so high from the team. Everything was clicking. The young players were playing like they were seniors, and it was just awesome. And then Carson Newman
came out swinging.
Yeah, they were like, okay, we've got to do something here, otherwise things are gonna look in the other direction. And they handled it. 25-15. Carson Newman win in the third set. And then the fourth set rolled around, and it was a thriller. They back-to-back play up until the end. Cobras pulled away with the resounding victory, and they kept their playoff hopes alive.
They are still in playoff contention.
Yes,
let's not forget that.
Yes. So if they can pull together some string of games, then makes things happen.
Yeah, I looked at it. I was looking at it yesterday. Carson Newman was, I think, you're tied for third in the conference. So that was a massive win, to say the least.
Yeah, and Kayla Gilmore was huge in that one. 14 kills on a 444 percentage, which means out of her kills, or out of her attacks, she was having a kill almost 45% of the time.
Yeah,
which is insane.
On fire.
Yes, insane. Taylor Hills, game high 16 kills. They were both on fire on the offensive end. Layla Hickson, great performance on both sides of the ball. Had 17 assists and 11 digs for a double-double. Other Cobras in double figures, quite a few of them. Maddie Roberts with 24 assists. MJ Hurd with 11 digs. Meadow Morse with 17 digs. And then Alyssa Carey with a career-high 20 digs in that one. And which is so... great, what a game.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was just the vibes were so high. We brought the boom,
Oh no, not this again. David, the little trend going around of the
it was the Rizzler. Come on now.
Okay.
We bring the boom. That's what we do.
Yeah, we got the best of us. Me and David ended up saying that. Which looking back on it, we looked like fools, but it was fun in the meantime.
Yes. Yeah. But hey, on to some more electric wins, by the way.
Convincing. Well, one of them was quite convincing. The other one was quite electric.
Was still electric. The Cobras men's basketball team sets another program record for points in a game.
The one you thought wouldn't even come close to getting again.
Well,
or even not with this team.
Yeah, not with this team.
In college basketball in general, it is very uncommon to see a team score 135 points.
Just 100 points in general.
Yeah, that's fair. Yes.
But we averaged 100.5 last year.
Crazy.
So we set the school record with 114 last year, broke it against Mars Hill with 120, tied it again the second time we played Mars Hill at 120, and then the first game of the season, We score 135 points in a near 60-point win over Erskine to open off the season 1-0.
And they were letting them fly. Everything was falling for these.
They were up
for these boys.
22-2.
Yeah, I remember turning the game on. I was like, hold on, is this right?
Yeah,
I was like,
no, it was. It was. It was for sure. Shot off the charts all night long. 44.4 3-point percentage. Which those of you that know basketball, that's insane.
Yeah.
They had a halftime lead of 72-34,
which seems like that's like a final score line.
Yes,
which
that's a blowout
crazy.
Final score line. And then they said, "Yeah, we're not going to take the foot off the neck," and they just kept the gas pedal all the way down. School record, of course, 135. Every player scoring, which is awesome. Coker was led by Judd Cohn, who had a team and game high of 26 on 9 of 12 shooting from the field and 7 for 10 from the 3-point line. So a 75% shot from the field and 70% from 3. So that's insane.
Yes.
The Coker shot 57% from the field that night, 44 behind the arc, like we said earlier. It was just awesome. They made 47 field goals. It just the whole thing was just nuts. And then they carried the same offensive power, at least, into the win over Emmanuel. 117-113 win in overtime. The game was even throughout the game. It was 53-48 at half. But things got interesting at the end of the game. 2 minutes remaining. Coker trailed by 3. Xavier Harris proved to be the difference in regulation. 1:47 on the clock. Stole the ball from an Emmanuel player before being fouled. Split a pair of free throws to trail by 2. And then they ended up still being down by 3 at the end of the game. Closing seconds, Jamie Muldowney drew 2 defenders, kicks it out to Harris for the 3, and hits it to go into OT. And I talked to their coaching staff, and you know how ESPN has that like game predictor of like a percentage chance of what you had to win, and they said that at one point Coker probably had a 98% chance to lose that game, and then they came through at the end of it.
Cardiac Cobras, man.
Yeah. So in OT, Emmanuel struck first, but Logan Murray wasted no time responding with a 3 to take the lead. Emmanuel held a 108-105 lead with a little over 2 minutes remaining. Coker turned up the pressure, took the lead, never looked back. Ian Blue and Murray sank clutch free throws down the stretch, and they prevailed 117-113. Just awesome. 2-0 to start off the season. And Lamberti's just could not sing enough praises of the guys' effort and fight in that one. And he said he looks forward to seeing everybody here at the Deloach Center on the 20th.
9 days, they'll be playing right behind us.
Yes.
We're excited for that.
Yeah, as we're recording,
they are
practicing.
And they are loud.
Yes. So
you guys will be able to hear it. Hopefully you won't be able to hear. Hopefully we can get some noise canceling on this. But yeah. I mean, you can see it in practice. It's a testament to these scores. Like, they are go in practice and in the games. Like, how they play in the games is how they play in practice. And
they do full platoon substitutions.
It's like hockey subs. Like, it's lines after lines.
And the reason for that is exactly because the way they play is they get out fast, they run quick, they fire off shots, and then they get back and they pressure on defense. And they want things to go quick because with the kind of players that Lamberti brought in, that's how they want to play, and that's how they will win games down the stretch.
Yeah, and for those of you that tuned in last year to Coker basketball, it's almost a whole new roster this year.
There's a couple key returners.
Yes, but for the most part, he brought in a lot of quality
new freshmen, new transfers,
players.
And So we're really looking forward to seeing some of that here in the Deloach Center and just continuing to monitor that the whole season. But speaking
of wins,
of more basketball-related wins, nothing better than a crosstown rival win by 2 with another game winner over crosstown rival Francis Marion. Deadlocked half. The Cobras led 32-31 at the break. At the end of the game, though, the story got real interesting. So the dwindling seconds of the fourth quarter, Cobras down 69-68. Ball found the hands of Shantiana Tillman, and she came up clutch. A huge driving layup with 15 seconds remaining to take the lead at 70-69. And then a stop and a made free throw. The Cobras pulled away by the skin of their teeth with a 71-69 victory. And in that one, they were led by senior Maya Waswell with a game-high 21 points and then also with 4 steals, which is huge. And then Tillman pitched in 16 points, and Kamari Thompson with a near double-double with 8 points and 11 rebounds to polish things off. But it doesn't stop there.
Rank us.
64-52 against the number 25 team in the country with UNC Pembroke. What a start for Coker women's basketball. They at one point had
Coker basketball in general, man.
Yeah,
they've been on fire.
4-0 to start off the season, and this was a game that if you watched it, it was just never a contest, which is crazy to say, but they did not lead, or they did not trail for a single minute of this basketball game. They went up 5-0 to start it off and never trailed. They held a lead as large as 19 points, and then they just held on to win it.
I wouldn't even say hold on. They convincingly just
they cut it down to 12, right? But that just doesn't tell the whole story because the Cobras commanded it the whole game. Turnover-filled game, lots of defense being played. Obviously not as large of a score as 135 points by the men. It's less than half of that, actually. But it was still huge. Deja Ferguson was a star on offense in this one. Game high 16 points on incredible percentages. 75% from the field and 50% from three. Maya Waswell also had another double-digit scoring game with 15 points and then to go along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. And then Tillman, yet again, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And they paced Ferguson as the other two in double digits. Mariah Mitchum on both sides of the ball played really well. 8 points while recording 9 rebounds and a whopping 6 steals in a game. So that just kind of shows you what kind of game it was. It was a pretty defensive battle. But what a
way to start.
What a week in general for Coker Athletics.
We were talking about it. I was writing the recaps for these, and I was like, man, this is a lot of wins.
It's a lot of wins. It's a lot of wins.
And there's nothing. I don't mind writing all that stuff about wins, but
look, if it takes us longer
if that's
to
what
do
it
this,
takes, that's totally
and
fine.
We're winning. I promise you, we'll put in the extra effort every single day of the week. It was so great being a part of Coker Athletics this week. Men now in a semifinal in the South Atlantic Conference for men's soccer. Women's soccer heartbreaker, but got to the tournament, South Atlantic Conference tournament for the first time in school history, and battled all the way through. Men's and women's basketball 4-0 combined, and some really, really good wins, record-breaking wins, and rivalry wins, along with the top 25 win on the women's side. And we are really looking forward to the next week. Now let's hope that we can have a similar week.
Let's hope we can come back on, because next week will our next show, the SAC tournament, will be over for the soccer.
Yeah, so let's
hopefully
hope
we get some good. We're just as hyped up as we are now.
Yeah. Let's hope that next week we're talking about the fact that the men could possibly be the number 1 team in the country.
And then, I'll save that. I'll save that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. But hey, next week, let's actually talk about it now. Volleyball. Let's hope they can continue their hot week from last week. They were also 2-0. I forgot to mention that as well. But our teams didn't really lose last week very much.
We don't like to lose.
Yeah, nobody does, but they've got a huge one tomorrow at home, last home game of the season against receiving votes Wingate. at 7 p.m. So that's a huge one. Come out and be ready for that one because they need to steal that from the number one team in the conference if they want to. They need to win 2 out of their last 3 to remain in contention for the playoffs. And then Friday they travel to LMU, and they start that road trip. Friday and Saturday they play at LMU and then at Mars Hill. Both of those will be at 6 p.m. So
best of luck to them. It's always tough to go up to those teams.
Yeah, going up into the mountains and then going down through close to Asheville and into that area. So a tough road trip to make, and best of luck to them because they're going to need every ounce of support that they can get to make this tournament. But another one, home opener for wrestling versus the number 1 team in the country in the Lander Bearcats. That will be Thursday at 7 p.m. here in the Deloach Center. So come out and show your support for that one because
had some upsets, bro. Why don't we make it that another one?
Why not beat a number 1 team in the country? You know, but and then we'll. Why don't you talk about the men's soccer rest of the week? We've been talking about it this whole time, but just recap what's going on this weekend, hopefully.
Yeah, I get to go back to my home state to watch some Coker men's soccer. The soccer team will travel up to Matthews, North Carolina, in the SAC tournament semifinal to play number 6 seeded Lenore Rhine Friday at 2 p.m. And me and David will be there.
Yeah, our whole team will be there
for that one,
and we'll be in their support of men's soccer. It'll be nice to be able to we're still working and we're doing media and stuff, but not in the same capacity. So it'll be nice to see that game from a different perspective.
Absolutely, and then if we go on to win that semifinal game, we'll turn right back around and play Sunday at 1 p.m. for the SAC championship. And that will be the other side of the bracket has number 1 seeded Limestone against number 4 seeded Mars Hill. So if you're in Hartsville, the game on Friday, I get it would be hard to make because of class and the time of everything. But if the men's soccer gets that win on Friday, that Sunday game against Limestone or Mars Hill, either one of those teams will be a great game.
Because we are 14-1-1, and the teams on the other side of the bracket, Mars Hill and Limestone, that's our only tie and our only loss on the season.
So, yes.
So the boys are fired up regardless. Well, obviously, you still got to beat LR.
Yeah. No, we're not looking past LR at all. We're just saying, because the next time we get on the show will be on Monday next week, so this will already have all happened. So we're trying to get this information out to you guys so you guys know. Social media will tell you everything you need to know about all the games. We'll have the little post coming out here.
We'll keep you updated. Articles on the website and all that stuff.
But if the Cobras do make it to that championship game, those games are so much fun to go to. I went to my game my freshman year when soccer went on to win the SAC, and that was just nothing short of electric. We ended up playing Marcel that year, and we won, and it was awesome to see the guys just.
So let's do it again.
And it's only an hour and a half drive, so get your friends, get in the car, and head up to Matthews. Tickets are only $2 for students.
Yeah. This finger's looking real bare, so I'm going to need a ring on it here soon. So let's hope that they can pull through in that, in hopefully those 2 games, and then we'll hopefully be in store for even more games with men's soccer.
Hopefully next week we'll have a big SAC trophy sitting right here on the table.
Yes. And we will. We'll bring it. We'll put it right here for you guys.
But on that note, we're going to wrap up the show for this week. Cobras are dominating across multiple sports this postseason, and we're excited to see how the teams continue to perform. Make sure you stay up to date on the Cobras this week as they compete in the SAC semifinals. Volleyball hits the road, and wrestling hits the mat, and the home and opener against the number 1 team in the land. Remember to tune in next week. Stay tuned to Coker Cobras Instagram for updates. And until then, I've been Will Habel.
And I've been David Mack.
And we'll see you guys next week. And as always, go Cobras.
Go Cobras.